Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 339, and away we go.
Get a shot, boy. Is that the best that you got? We about to go live, but you're ready to rock. So take a shot. So take a shot. Oh, yeah. I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is my door. I'm a mold breaker. Rick Flair, Nature Boy, about to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, boy. Is that the best that you got? We about to go live, but you're ready to rock. So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Shot of Wrestling. I'm your host at Michael J. Putty, and if you listen to last week's show, me and Mark got into a little tiff about him not being invited on a shot of BCW. Well, folks, I lined up a little surprise for my co-host this week. I worked it out with my co-host of a shot of BCW, the governor himself, AJ Pan. I'm like, how'd you come on a shot of wrestling this week? And surprised Mark Schwann. Mark Schwann found out yesterday, and today he has COVID. So do with that information what you will. So filling in for him, America's favorite agent, your guiding light in mine, the governor of BCW, and the sole reason I was in the hospital, Mr. AJ Pan. Mr. Governor, welcome back to the show. How you been? I haven't seen you since
it's been a little while. Yeah, you know, when you have the season premiere, you bring out the big guns like Roman Reigns and AJ Pan. So, you know, you bring out the heads of the table. So
damn right. Well, thanks for trying to surprise my co-host, or then filling in for him.
Yeah, and he's quote-unquote sick. He has, I don't know what he has. He has Legionnaire's disease or something. I don't know what it is.
COVID-19 struck again. I think it's the third time for him, fourth time.
I don't think, actually, no, I think it's something else. I don't know. I think he tested negative for that, but it's something else that's going around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from what I was told by Mr. Cole. Yeah, I believe it's, I can't pronounce it right. I'm not going to butcher it by saying it. It's Kawasaki,
Coxsackie disease?
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
That's still around? Is that still a thing?
Well, you know, to people with immune systems like Mark Cohen, you know.
Oh, man. Well,
it's better when it's me and you anyway, so.
I know he's listening, so speedy recovery. Hope you're available next weekend for a Nightmare at the Mecca. BCW presents their next show, October 22nd. Looking forward.
Yes.
Hot show lined up. We went over the first half of the card on the last episode of A Shot at BCW. So go back 2 episodes right on this feed and stay tuned for the next couple days for the next half. Looking forward to that show. But while I got you here, how's everything else going? How's life? How you feeling?
Everything's all right. Keeping a little busy. On a serious note, though, yeah, get well, Mark. You know, we want to see, you know, well, I don't want to see you, but
Yeah, no one does.
no, we will look forward to tormenting you at BCW. Let's put it that way. But yeah, get well soon, Mark. We do have to touch upon you talking about you being injured because of me. Let's clarify
Absolutely.
that. I did not injure
you. Were the sole and only reason I was in the hospital. There's no other way to attribute this to anybody else but you.
Well, but we have to explain. People are going to think I had you attacked or we got into an argument. Like, wait a minute. Like, we have to. I need to clear my name on that fact.
So and
this has happened. You're not the first one that's happened to in the Shot of Wrestling family.
Exactly.
Something like this happened.
Me and Mark commiserated last week about it. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, when you hang out with AJ Pan, people laugh when I say, or other people call me Nate. I'm a big Flair fan. I might have called me a time or two, but after hanging out with me, you see how I hang out and I can party. A lot of people, not just you, like other friends, like when they come out with me and they're like, yo, we gotta make it a night. I'm hanging out with AJ Pan. I met the skinny, I met so-and-so.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to live up to a certain expectation.
I know the feeling.
And, you know, you did last. You lasted for me till the end, but unfortunately afterwards you suffered the consequences, sadly.
So I think we touched it briefly in the last episode. I want to burn right through this. We went out for Cheyenne's birthday.
Yes.
It was a karaoke bar. We all were having a great time until they found out they don't have Jack Daniels. They don't have something else. And it's cash only. Now, part of me was happy it was cash only because that means I can control my spending and control my drinking. So I bought me a couple of rounds, I bought you a couple of rounds because you didn't have cash on you. So to make it up to me, we went to your headquarters where you're literally the king and governor. We spent the rest of the night. I thought we were going to go back to Cheyenne. We did it. I feel bad. I have to apologize. I have to go and see him again. But we ended up staying there the whole night. And like as soon as my drink was empty, I turned around. My drink was full. I felt like I was like hanging out with Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. And the Oompa Loompas just feeling me every time I turn around. Now, hanging out deep, I thought I was doing a good job. I didn't feel like I thought I was going drink for drink with you. I thought I was doing good. It was when
you did pretty good. I was impressed, and I was happy. I was like,
it was when the shots came out.
Yeah,
I think the shots.
I'm sorry?
I think it was the shots that kind of knocked me out.
That's what happens. Yes.
And also, I forgot what I was telling, but it's also Friday. I hate going out Friday nights. I barely can do this show, and I'm home. But
really
got the courage to go out because it's a long ass week at work, not getting too much sleep. So at least going out Saturday night, I can at least sleep in a little bit. So next time we go out.
Okay.
No, I mean Saturday morning I can sleep in, so I get a little more energy going out Saturday night.
Right, guys. Yeah.
So you can see I can hang. It's just for next time, let's make it on a Saturday or when I'm off that Friday.
Yes, well, that was Cheyenne's stupid birthday had to fall on a Friday.
You could wait one more day? Oh, man.
Yeah, he could have moved it to Saturday, the jerk. That's why he's stupid.
It was a rainstorm, too. Like, a lot of people canceled. Postpone it a day. Come on, postpone it one day.
Yeah. But we made the best of it. Unfortunately, you got injured. You had an adjacent AJ Pan injury, but that's
I'm very careful
when you age.
I'm very careful when I leave cabs to make sure I have everything.
Yeah,
so I'm always paranoid about something. So what happened was I was half drunk, half asleep.
Yes.
And I just wanted to go to bed. And as soon as I closed the door, I realized I didn't have my phone, and I ran like an asshole to chase the cab, trying to wave him down. I thought it was like the Flash or something. And the rain tripped on something and busted my ass, and I spent 8 hours in the hospital. But I attribute it to you. I blame Cheyenne too, but he never got back to me. I think he's ignoring me. But it was I can't wait to do it again. Doesn't that sound weird?
No, it doesn't. Once you get a taste of it, you know what happened, and you need to do it again. But
I have never gotten fucked so hard as I have been with this phone insurance company. So that was Friday. So Saturday, I go to find my phone. I'm spending hours after I get home. I'm blood everywhere in my apartment, trying to get in touch with Uber, but everything's a fucking robot. And to confirm who you are, you need your cell phone. Okay. So I finally send a message. I wake up the next morning. Cab driver has my phone. I'm tracking my phone, but it's traveling all over Brooklyn. But he's telling me he'll look in the car next time he's in it. So he's lying to me. So I file a claim on the phone. It's lost, but I get it back the next day. But the insurance company still has my phone locked. I cannot use my phone unless I have on Wi-Fi and only to iPhone users. It's fucking pissing me off. Oh my god, I'm getting so fucked here. So that's another long story I don't want to get into. We'll talk about it on a shot of BCW coming up next. But but anyway, other than that, how about we do what we're here for? Let's talk about what's trending.
Yes.
Main focus coming into this past week, Governor, the Tuesday Night Wars. Well, the ratings came out. NoDQ.com at NoDQ.com. The NXT versus Dynamite viewership numbers are in. NXT drew 921,000 viewers with a 0.30 rating into 18 to 49 demo, while Title Tuesday edition of Dynamite drew 609,000 womp womp with a 0.26 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. I wasn't sure how this would go. I was not expecting this. Your thoughts on this Wednesday Night War and the results? Tuesday night. I
mean, when you see that NXT gets loaded with John Cena, with Cody Rhodes, with Asuka, with Becky Lynch, with all these names, I mean, what chances AEW have to beat them? Mm-hmm. And not even, and I want to like AEW. I don't want to come off as one of those haters, but it's, you see I was watching it. I wanted to go back in time, so I treated it as it was like back in 95, 96. Wow, okay. So I had it on DVR, so I would watch a segment on NXT, and then I'd stop it and I'd go watch a segment on AEW and go back and forth. Great. And so they were both good shows, but you see the difference where NXT is behind the WWE machine. Mm-hmm. It's storytelling at its finest. Even in matches, the breakdown, you see just how they structure programming. Still, most minute detail. And AEW still comes off as an independent trying to get to that level.
Interesting. Okay.
But again, like, it wasn't like, I hate going on the internet on social media sometimes because everything gets skewed. And, again, AEW was not a bad show, but in comparison to what WWE produces, and especially with the name power that they had, I mean, I'm happy that they did at least, 609, but still, that's but it's not unexpected.
I think we touched about it last week, like who's going to win. And I'm assuming you have NXT, it's all up and coming names. A lot of, like, for the casual fan, there's no names. If you don't watch NXT, you don't know who Carmelo Hayes is.
Sadly, yeah.
Dynamite, you have the main guys. You have Edge, you have Chris Jericho, Christian.
Yeah.
So this is like their main show going against their developmental brand.
Right.
So who's going to win here? And like I said, they loaded it up with names to draw in casual viewers. And I guess, like, who won here? Us. You know what I'm saying? We had two great shows.
Yes.
And the people are trying to pin each brand against each other. I understand that. Brand warfare, whatever you guys want to do. But do it in knowing that every wrestling won. We had a great night of TV. I felt NXT was a better show. Mark will tell you I am a little biased. I'm a bigger NXT fan.
Yes.
I felt like not only was the show better, it flowed better. There was better stories, and there was more excitement around it. There was like a vibe and energy. That crowd was electric, and that's a small ass crowd. And
exactly.
I watched AEW afterwards. Maybe I was a little like coming down from that high. It felt a little flat. The crowd, anyway, maybe. And I feel like the stories, like some of the matches are just thrown together, like Powerhouse Hobbs and Chris Jericho. That was just random. I mean, it started out hot with that Swerve and Daniel Bryan match. It started out good. It was a good show. I just felt like why call it Title Tuesday? There was only 2 titles in the match.
Right.
I didn't know the card. So I thought it was going to be a lot more matches with titles on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's me nitpicking now. So I'm going to stop doing that.
No, I was telling a friend of mine, like they see what NXT's doing. They have so many people load up the show. Like, nothing against Luchasaurus, but if you're going against John Cena, The Undertaker, give us Edge and Sting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, give us something like that. Like, yeah. I'm like, and again, like we said, the matches were good. After the Cody Rhodes segment, which was hot, I flip over. Bryan Danielson versus Swerve. That was a really good match. Nothing against it. I really enjoyed watching it, but just the feeling for me, I was more invested with Cody and seeing, and then watching that as he announces he's adding that night LA Knight. So you're adding yet another name. Like, come on, like they're just trying. It's like it's just a joke at this time, and it's like it was just it's funny that people were like ragging on the other companies when. That's what happened back in the Monday Night Wars. So, hey, they brought out another surprise, LA Knight, and now it was AEW's chance to fire back. They could have called the audible and say, we'll do on Collision, Edge versus Adam Copeland versus Luchasaurus. Give us some more marquee matches. But, why was Britt Baker not on that show?
Exactly, yeah.
Why are not your top name that you've been all the pillars could have been on Dynamite to show what AEW is? And I think they dropped the ball on a lot of things.
Yeah, well said. Again, it was a good show. Both shows had a good outing. I think it was Tony. Was it Tony Khan? I heard going back to the trolls on the internet saying, John Cena and Undertaker couldn't pull 1 million viewers.
Yeah.
And then you had somebody come back. You had Edge, and he couldn't break. He barely broke 600.
Yeah, you had Edge, you have Paige, you have that's Daniel Bryan.
We can go back and forth with this.
Yeah, you got Chris Jericho. So you have your own big names, and you can't.
You had Edge and Christian reunited.
Yes.
So why nitpick? I don't understand. Like, just enjoy the fucking show, man. There's so much negativity in the world, especially the last week going on in the world.
Yeah.
Just sit back, relax, man. Just stop fucking.
Yeah, talk about the good thing. Like, okay, they had Cody Rhodes. AEW has to I love what they're doing with Toni Storm. That's one of the best things they're doing right now. Like, so there are parts to enjoy out of both programs.
And it was weird how they first introduced Toni Storm. We're gonna wrap this up real quick. This character and how it slowly kind of evolved to what it is now.
Yes.
And how she made a point to say how she's going to throw it back to the classics, where it's silent pictures, where some you don't need noise or anything. I forgot the exactly wording of it was. And then during those picture-in-picture commercial breaks, you had her.
Yes.
Which is genius because you don't need to hear anything because it's silent. You're not missing anything.
Right, yeah.
I thought that was pure brilliance on their part.
Yes.
So, love all, serve all, my friends. Enjoy wrestling. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Exactly.
Stop the hate, please. Jesus.
Yes.
Speaking of hating on things unnecessarily, CM Punk's in the news. WrestleOps at WrestleOps quotes Wrestling Observer Radio. WWE turned CM Punk down. He wanted to go there. The decision was a no. It can always change, and it was also brought up that there's no such thing as no forever when it comes to WWE, but it's a no for now. That was the decision that was made. It's Vince's decision. Vince, Nick Khan, Triple H, and obviously they decided the negatives outweigh the positives. Never say never is right when it comes to WWE. Was this the right move for both sides? And maybe, are we being swerved here? Your thoughts?
I could definitely see a swerve happening. Is it a good decision? I mean, look at WWE's firing on all, ends at this point. Do they need CM Punk? No. Would it be interesting to see him back, and would it get some buzz? Of course. That's what it comes down to. But is he needed? Definitely not. Especially now Survivor Series is coming up, and the big ones. And of course, you're going to have Roman back on. You have Cena. We don't know how much longer the strike's going to go on, so The Rock could be a more prominent figure. They're going to have celebrity. Logan Paul will probably be back shortly.
Definitely.
Bad Bunny maybe during WrestleMania. He made a surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble not too long ago. So with all these, CM Punk is not needed. But again, if he shows up, people will be talking and tuning in. So
yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I was surprised to hear this report coming out that that he reached out and they turned him down, which makes sense because it's such the toxic negativity around him.
Yes.
Not only the way he left AEW, the way he left WWE. Mark talked about it last week about how he would have to make amends with certain people.
Yes.
And it seems like he had no problem doing that these days. Well, maybe with certain people, because when he was backstage on Raw a couple months ago, one of the reports that did come out was he made amends with The Miz.
Yes.
I mean, allegedly, based on what you want to believe. So he would have to. I don't see him having a problem making amends with like a Cody, Seth Rollins.
Yes.
He's old enough. He's more mature now. It's been like 7 years or something like that.
About 7 or 8 years, I believe. Yes.
But yeah, it's a hot issue, and they say the negatives outweigh the positives, and I would agree with that, especially now with not Vince's decision, really. Now you have a whole corporate TKO now. You have a boss to report to.
Yes.
So, again, I just keep quoting that, never say never, man. I don't think this is it. I mentioned it last week. This is his last shot, though.
Yes.
Because I don't see him going to Impact, unless he just wants to wrestle, because they can't give him the bank.
Right.
This was his last-ditch effort.
Yes.
And it failed. To quote Ryan Seacrest, for now.
Yeah.
That's a fucking deep cut, though. If you know what I'm talking about, fucking tweet me out. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Do you want to see him back eventually?
It would be cool to see a little run. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and he was saying,
not Mark, right? Not Mark, right?
He burned his... I'm sorry?
Not Mark, right?
I said a friend.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, and a friend of mine, he's like, oh, but do you think he can come back? You know, he burned a lot of bridges. I'm like, have you not seen if Eric Bischoff was able to get signed by WWE, and he almost tried to put Vince out of business.
Exactly. Hulk Hogan.
Bret Hart. Exactly. Yeah. Alundra Blaze in the Hall of Fame, and she tossed the championship on the Rivals program. If they could all come back, if they could all get welcome back, CM Punk was a blip on their radar.
Well said, yeah. I wasn't comparing them to like the Ultimate Warriors, too.
Right, exactly.
So, never say never. I would not be surprised if we do not see him back. But not for the.
But it'll be I think.
He'll be
I say if he does, it'll be a one strike, and that's it. That's what they'll give him. His deal is.
Moving on, tonight on SmackDown brought back general managers. Draven at Wrestling Covers. I really never thought I'd see Nick Aldis in a WWE ring. So happy for this man. Yeah, I'm happy too. For some reason, I'm a big fan of Nick Aldis. I don't know much of his work, but I just love his look. I love his presence about him. I don't know his work in NWA, but his work in Impact. He was there. He was there a couple months ago. Now he's in WWE. He's a producer. So your thoughts on them bringing in as a authority figure? Do you think they're dropping the ball, not having him be in-ring competitor?
I'm happy to see general managers back. I always, when they started the draft and the brand split again, it always annoyed me a little bit that they had Adam Pearce on both programs. But I left that. But I'm like, yeah, this is a little annoying. I don't know, but it's just after you've seen so many times with warring brands. So like, what it not that it didn't make sense, but there's no vested interest for him. Yeah. When they first started it was cool that they had people to help make the decision. I like that they had the networks involved, which made it feel more important, where USA was involved in the Raw draft and Fox was involved with the SmackDown draft. So that was a cool aspect. But now if you're going to get more involved with brand splits, it's good to have another general manager. Nick Aldis was a very surprising choice. Happy to see him on TV.
Yeah, me too.
Of course I'd love to see him in the ring. He has a lot to offer. I've been a fan of his since the Brutus Magnus time, with the British Invasion. I loved him and Doug Williams together. So, his stuff in NWA just also. He was supposed to be on a BCW event years back, but scheduling with NWA, it just didn't work out. But he was actually announced, and he had to pull out, unfortunately. I've always been a fan of his. I'm happy for him. Who knows? Maybe we will get to see him and Adam Pearce in the ring at one point. I thought that when I saw them and I saw Pearce looks, I'm like, maybe on a B pay-per-view there'll be a time leading up to the draft where they'll fight it out for a draft pick or something. Who knows? But there is potential there.
I hope so, man. Again, he was just in an Impact main event scene months ago, and he fucking killed it.
Yeah.
So when I heard he was signed to WWE as a backstage producer, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You have so much. You have untapped potential here. I know he's up in age, but there's still so much left for him to give. But we're going this route. Again, talking about 5 minutes ago, never say never.
Exactly. Maybe they feel they could build him this way, and then he could get it. Because the pop wasn't as big because he's not that, sadly, like a Punk name or, a Cody Rhodes
mainstream,
name.
He's not the main. He's for the wrestling fans, we know him.
Right, but
but
you saw now, in AEW, he would have got a huge reaction because they're geared more towards independent. Nothing against Nick Aldis, but it's just the WWE is that conglomerate machine that you heard it when people were like, oh, okay, but it wasn't it wasn't a resounding pop from the crowd. So maybe this is how you introduced him, and from there, you could transition him into a in-ring role.
6 of one, half dozen the other. Do you think they knew he would not get that big of a reaction, and that's why he just came out of nowhere, the ring timekeeper area? Or
I think so.
You think he would have gotten a bigger reaction if they gave him a full entrance?
No, I think they knew.
Oh, okay.
I think yeah.
The general managers are back. Looking forward to it. You touched upon the brand split between the networks, right?
Yes.
When they were drafting, you had what they called war rooms for USA and the war rooms for Fox. Even Fox's the robot was there. The robot, I forgot his name.
Yes.
That was kind of parroting as a new football fan that you are. When the NFL has drafts, when the team's pick is up, they go to the team's war room.
Okay.
So that's what they were parodying. And as someone who's new to football, I just want to explain to you that's what it is. And you're new to football because your new favorite team is?
The first one is the Miami Dolphins.
And why?
My second team is the Kansas City Swifties.
So you're completely rebranding them. New name, everything, huh?
I mean, I don't know who they are. Whatever team Taylor Swift is on, that's who I'm cheering
You're
for.
A Swiftie,
if it's not the Dolphin. I'm sorry?
You're a Swiftie, huh?
I am a Swiftie. I am indeed, yes.
Wow. Something you and Mark Schwann have in common.
I'm going to have to rethink my life now.
He was thinking about buying a Swiftie Chiefs jersey, too.
He's been not sick. He probably went to the movie premiere tonight. He probably went to go see Eric.
That's tonight, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
He probably acted like he was sick. He left his daughter and wife at home and went to go see with his pink tiara on, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's normal with wearing a tiara, but, Mark is very, because he loves to dance.
He loves to dance.
He loves
But, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Are you going to go see this movie?
I think I might. Yeah, I was debating it today, and then you texted me, so I'm like, you know what? Let's do Shot of Wrestling, and Taylor can wait. Once she breaks up with that, Kelsey Grammer guy,
wow,
she can come up to AJ Pan, and I'll gladly you could announce me as AJ Pan, Taylor's version.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
See what I did there?
Man, I feel bad for Io Sky. During the Fastlane press conference, she's asked, would you want to wrestle Taylor Swift? What a fucking stupid question.
But is it, though?
Yes.
Snooki has wrestled at WrestleMania. So
who?
Snooki.
Yeah, she's Snooki, a reality TV star.
You know what I'm saying? Bad Bunny's been on now. He's a major star, so hey.
It's hard to argue that, but...
Why not Taylor Swift?
I don't see it happening.
Taylor, when he was at the height of his, WWE, again, they bring in... And The Rock back. He's a huge star.
Yeah, but Bad Bunny was a wrestling fan. Taylor Swift doesn't seem like a wrestling fan. You
don't know. She was Jeff Jarrett's babysitter for the kids.
Really?
Oh, you never saw? Yeah.
Who are you? Who am I talking to right now? What is going on?
You didn't see that? You didn't see that a couple weeks back that came out?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's pictures and stuff like that. She babysat for Jeff Jarrett's kids.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. They live close in Tennessee. Yeah.
Wow. One of the things I mentioned last week was how it's so annoying how every time Travis Kelce did something, we go to Taylor Swift. Even non-Chiefs games are showing Taylor Swift and talking about Taylor Swift, and it's kind of annoying as a football fan. And now here we are doing the same exact thing. How about we move on to the world of TV, unless you have some final parting words for it as a Swiftie. Got it out of your system?
I think we're good.
It's time for this week's TV Takedown.
You see, what we really need to do is break up Taylor and Travis and have Taylor meet Darius Carter one night and boom, put BCW on the map.
Yeah, but I'd like to sign her and, maybe she should work with her.
We're recording. I'm sorry. Let me edit this part out. Wow, okay, I didn't know. Mark Schwann sucks. Look at the world of television. TV. Let's start with Raw. Stephanie Hypes at Stephanie Hypes. Becky Lynch really showing them how helpful a woman's mid-card title on Monday Night Raw would be. And something that I've talked about for years on the show, 8 seasons almost, how I'd rather have a mid-card title for the woman. And she makes a good point, how Becky Lynch is NXT champion. She's been defending it more on Raw than she has on NXT. Could this be a way of testing the waters for a mid-card title for the women's division?
I think it is, but I also think it's unfair to say she's been defending it more. Just that Raw is definitely the prominent show, but she has been on NXT pretty much every week.
She has been, but she only defended it, I think, she defended it once on NXT and once the pay-per-view, so it was twice. I apologize, it's 2-2.
And I think, and then she's defending it either this week or next week against Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, that's at
Halloween Havoc, or
that's next week, night 1.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
But yeah, mid-card title would definitely be, I think it would benefit them because there's so many right now, so many talented women on the roster, and it shows the depth of it. Well, now you're finally getting to use Tegan Nox, and you're taking Natty's experience, and you have the few, and it's not, if you have it, it seems kind of segregated. Like you have Rhea and Raquel and Nia, and then everybody else is kind of sectioned off.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so at least we have the mid-card title. If they were to go that route, there's a little more room for growth than what we used to see with the old Intercontinental title, like way back in the day, where that would be the grooming area. And you see Kurt Hennig and the Ultimate Warrior and Shawn Michaels, where you would use that as a potential stepping stone to get to the main event.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Like, it was good to see Tegan Nox in what was almost 20 minutes worth of a match.
Yeah, yes.
Every time we've seen her, it's not even 20 minutes total. It's just like a quick match in and out.
Yeah,
she was able to show us what we can do, us and the backstage people watching her. So I feel it was a good opportunity for her. It's going to be a good opportunity for the other women who can't, like you said, break into the main event scene because it's kind of crowded.
It is, yes.
So they're not really doing much with the tag titles right now because due to injuries and not being real teams.
Right.
And I see them trying to form something here with the Nia Jax and the Shayna Baszlers of the world. Like they're trying to format some sort of division here. But look what the TBS Championship did on AEW with Jade Cargill and now Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
It can be successful. It can work. And you have a loaded women's roster. Give them something to do, man. Yeah, I'm all for this.
I agree, yeah.
This is the point where Mark disagrees with me, so I'm happy that you're agreeing with me.
Yeah, I got a little angered. Well, not angered, but when I saw the whole Becky Tiffany Stratton debate.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I think it definitely helped build Tiffany. Like I don't think it harmed her in any kind of way. That entire feud, the whole build up, it actually presented her as more of a star, and she delivered and hit consistent home runs. She, in my opinion, she's ready. She's definitely ready, I think. And yeah, the main event she's had against Becky, but not even that. When you see her on television, she comes across as a star.
Absolutely.
And that's what the WWE wants. Others come off as talents or, wrestlers. She comes off like a Jade Cargill, like a Becky Lynch, like a Rhea Ripley. Like she is in a league of her own. So whatever that did, of course. And nothing like Becky didn't need it. No, she didn't need it, but this opens a lot more doors. Again, she beat Trish Stratus. What are you going to do? Put her now back in Rhea Ripley? No. Mm-hmm. She's already been the champion. So you give her the one championship she hasn't held. And now she gets to work with the younger kids and help elevate them like she did for Tiffany Stratton.
We talk about losing a match, hurting your career. That is a very plausible concern. But my comeback would be, look at Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. 0-3 against Cody Rhodes. But they were bangers, and now he's world champion.
Yeah, I never believe. Yeah, it's you guys. I believe in a lot. Depending on how it's done, a loss can be a win.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, when it's done correctly. So people say they lost. But did you? Okay, so you're gonna have Tiffany Stratton continue to beat all these NXT women who are good in their own right, but what's that gonna do for her now? But you have her now against Becky Lynch, a bona fide superstar, a main eventer at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And now it brought up her name value exponentially. So again, like that, 2 losses to her, two match losses equals a career win.
Yeah, because people are talking about her. Even Paul Heyman said she should go to the future. You get the step on
without
Paul
a doubt.
Heyman.
Yes.
Man, can't wait.
Yeah.
Speaking of NXT, moving on, Pro Wrestling Finesse at Pro W Finesse, Bronn Breakker shared the ring with The Undertaker and John Cena whilst having Paul Heyman in his corner. This was surreal. And I basically picked this tweet because the use of the word whilst. Props, one of my favorite words.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about getting a rub, man. 3 legends in one night. Eric Bischoff, I think on his podcast or during an interview, said, if he's in NXT a month from now, I'm going to be shocked. I mean, how bright is the future for Bronn Breakker? How much longer does he have in NXT?
Not too much longer. I mean, there's still glimmers of him still learning the ropes, the way the WWE does things, but I was very impressed with the match. That's even considering pay-per-views, this is one of the biggest matches he's had because, again, with all the eyes on it and having John Cena at ringside, Paul Heyman at ringside, and he was firing on almost all cylinders in that match. The catch that he got and the scoop power slam right away, that was great. Yeah, there was a lot. I was like, okay, Bronn is on his A game tonight. He's with Heyman putting him over. I'm like, okay, yeah, they see a lot of him as long as he keeps his head on straight. He definitely has a huge upside for WWE going forward.
But I know he had this angle with Von Wagner where he smashed his skull in or some quotes. So I'm assuming after Von Wagner comes back to get his revenge or something, I guess we'll see that will be his send-off. I'm assuming because, like I said, the clock is ticking.
Yes.
But Bronn Breakker broke out in NXT 2.0, man, as his colorful babyface, face of the franchise, champion. But when they turned him heel, man, he hit a different gear.
Yeah.
Even I'm like, oh, this guy. And I love heels. It's just like, this guy is killing it in all cylinders. Where does he fit in the main roster? Do you think he'll be put in the title picture? Maybe mid-card? Or do you think he has to establish himself on the main roster first? As they do with Dominant, squash matches for a couple months and then put him in a mid-card title feud. You're a genius in this business. What do you think? What would you do with Bronn Breakker?
If you're moving him up in the next month or two, a couple of packages, putting over his lineage and then what he's done in NXT as the first champion of the new brand of 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I think once you build him that way, the crowd will immediately click to him. Because once you link the Rick Steiner to Scott Steiner and you show the similarity, you show, Rick doing the power slam and you show him doing it. You show a Scott Steiner promo and you show the likeness between him.
Smart.
It's the blending of the two worlds and you show what Bronn Breakker has done in 2.0 up to now, the new, black and gold brand. It gives the crowd a chance to connect to him. And from there, because the character is there, but he's not like a Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller just pops right at you.
Absolutely. Right away.
Yeah, so he didn't need a huge, couple of weeks or anything. They're just so the Grayson Waller effect is coming too. And again, in lieu of that, that's how they built that. Instead of him coming right to the ring, they let him show his strong suit, which was his promos. Not that he's not great in the ring, but you introduce him that way, and it's been working for him. So I think Bronn, you go that way. You show the mainstream audience his family lineage, everything he's accomplished. And then at least, Bronn Breakker debuts next week, and then he destroys one or two people, and then he gets a feud with one of the big mid-carders. Maybe a feud with Santos or Ray, or do something like that.
Something we talked about a lot in the show, a recurring theme here is there's a big disconnect from the Raw SmackDown viewers to NXT viewers.
Yes.
So there's a good chance when you bring him up to the main roster, a lot of people won't know who he is.
Yes, exactly.
So what you're saying, it makes sense, and I hope they do go that route. I saw a tweet. I wanted to save it. I totally lost it, so I'm just going to paraphrase it here. Vince is no longer in the lineage of creative. He has no hand in the cookie jar anymore, quote unquote. But he's been trying desperately to find the next John Cena. Could Bronn Breakker reach that heights?
Never say never. I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know if I see it right now. I would see maybe if they spend more time on developing him, which they have. I'm surprised it's Austin Theory. That's who I thought would be.
Yeah, me too.
One of the next ones, and they just seem to keep dropping. I don't know, or maybe it's a little bit of him. I don't know, but I think just there's something not clicking with him. But he has the potential, so he's one I could definitely see moving into that spot if something's done with him. Yeah, but at the same time, somebody surprised you because Roman, I never thought he would get as big as he did. I mean, at least more mainstream. Like he, as the face and the big dog, he was just this big tough wrestling guy. But now once they allowed him to develop himself more and become this head of the table tribal chief, he's exceeded my expectations. So maybe Bronn has it in him. He just needs that right moment. Like Toni Storm too. I never expected this out of her. I thought she was just a really talented worker that's been slept on, and wow, she actually has a personality. Yeah. Like, holy shit, where has this been hiding? Like, this is amazing. So maybe Bronn has that in him down the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's still obviously way too early to tell, but the trajectory is there.
Yes.
And I don't think he's going to become a 16-time world champion. I don't think he's going to go down as the greatest of all time. But I think he could be the next face of the franchise if done correctly. Because he's young enough. What else? He's there. Like in Austin Theory, he's the second guy I compare that to. And like he was U.S. champion for a long time, but didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really, really excited about this A-Town Down Under team.
Yeah.
You have two of the hottest acts, in my opinion, together that blend so well look-wise and character-wise. I'm hoping this could be another launching pad for both of them. But I'm excited to see what the future holds for Bronn Breakker. And it's great how NXT, that was their main event. Bronn Breakker versus Carmelo Hayes.
Thanks.
One of the hottest feuds in NXT this year. The youngest WrestleMania weekend main event in history.
Yes, yes.
On a show where you had the NXT title defended.
Yes.
That says a lot about those two and what the stock the company has in those two guys.
Yes.
So that was really excited to watch. And again, we both
And that
won.
match was surprisingly good too. Dragunov and Dominic. Dominic did.
I was not expecting that.
No, oh my God. I think that was arguably his best bout to date.
Oh, absolutely. It was well done. I was really, really surprised.
Yes.
And you had the Judgment Day get involved, but then thwarted. It was just weird. I was surprised. Well said. I forgot about to mention that. Well done.
Yes, definitely.
And Nick Aldis burning him tonight on SmackDown. Oh, love that man. So excited about Nick Aldis in WWE.
Yes, it's going to be interesting times now.
Moving on to AEW. Just Alex at Just Alex Central. What? Hikaru Shida is now a 3-time AEW Women's Champion? Holy Shida! I wasn't expecting that. Saraya's run was surprisingly short. Very short. I think only a couple months. Was putting the title back on Shida the right move? Or right choice, I should say?
I mean, the fans are into her again. Maybe it's just me. If you had that, I would have had Britt. And if you're going to do a title change, do Britt Baker against Paige. Saraya. And put the championship on Britt if you want to take it off her. Again, lead off with you've been built. Britt has been your one of your pillars, pillar. And, she wasn't even on the program, which was mind-boggling.
Really? Seriously, yeah.
Yeah, so but nothing against Shida. I like her. I like her work. She's earned it. And again, the fact they kept going to the point where when she won, it was during the pandemic era, so she couldn't really. It's like almost the same as the ripple effect as Drew McIntyre, where he didn't get to experience being the world champion with the crowds of people. So she has deserved it. Again, if I was writing it, I would have loaded up the title Tuesday and. That would have been my if I would have put Saraya versus Britt Baker in that one. But congrats to Shida. She does deserve it. She's a hard worker, and she has put in all the time, especially carried the pandemic era for that division. So,
yeah, exactly. She carried that division, that company during the Daily Plaza days.
Yes,
but they made it up to her during her second title. She won the title again. She won the title in front of a crowd, held the championship in front of a crowd. I just feel like I would have been happier. I love Shida. Great job. But maybe you have Saraya, the leader of the Outcasts. Outcasts have been feuding with Willow Nightingale. Maybe, or like an established veteran like a Taya Valkyrie or something like that. You have other names in that card who have not been champion.
Right.
Who beating Saraya would have helped them out even more.
Yes.
Shida does not need the help as a former two-time champion.
Yes.
But I'm going to book her out. I'll write the stuff. I just feel like I think it would have been better if it was somebody else.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, we agree. Man. Can I just fire Mark Schwann right now?
I wish you would.
Moving on to SmackDown. WrestleOps at WrestleOps LA Knight.
Yeah.
Defeat Solo Sikoa LA now joins Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes as the only names to have pinned Solo in singles match on the main roster. Great company to be in. Are we finally,
without question, yeah.
Are we finally getting the LA Knight push we've been waiting for? Is this it? Or is this a test?
It looks like the test run. I mean, they put him in there with Reigns to see tonight how he handles himself. I think the segment went well. You know, little more polishing from definitely maybe a step below others like Cena, Cody, and Owen. But I think they kind of rushed it to gauge the reaction. But
yeah, I thought you did a good job.
The crowd is there. The crowd is there for him. So he just needs to. Now is his time to get on that level and get right up to the end, hold his own against Roman Reigns. But yeah, the crowd is there for him. It's obviously now the machine is there behind him. They believe in him, so it's now in his hands.
We've been waiting for a push for a while now. That's what I'm saying. That could this be a test? Because he's not going to be the one to beat Roman Reigns.
Who knows?
I don't see that happening. I would love that. I would mark out, and I would spend the next 60 minutes talking about it in an episode.
Yeah.
But I missed the beginning of SmackDown. I missed this segment originally because I had stuff to do tonight. And I came back and I was on Twitter trying to see Twitter's reactions to stuff. And there's that one image that's going around now that's trending, as my co-host would say, that close-up of L.A. Knight's face with the reflection of Roman Reigns in his glasses.
Yes.
I was like, well, that's a fucking cool shot. And I watched this segment live then before the show started, like, great camera work. Great camera. Wow.
Yeah, I was there. I'm like, okay, this is really well done.
That was well done. Yeah. That
was stupid. Again, see, this is the little things that WWE does and AEW still can't grab. That's a whole conversation. And I hate to keep harping it, but it's like they've been in business 4 years. And there's so many little things that just to the naked eye people don't get. Like I still can't get how a lot of I think Tony Storm is the only one who could throw it to a commercial perfectly.
Yeah.
She's the only one who can time it perfectly. Like, I'm like, why are they not going to a commercial break right now? And they do it like 2 minutes later once they get back into the ring. And I'm like, where the WWE, like, as soon as somebody hits to the outside and they get to a pose, they get to a commercial. So you don't miss too much of the action.
Yeah, I'm so used to it now. I've been watching it my whole life. Sometimes I'll have a friend over and he'll want to watch wrestling just to catch up on stuff. And I'll take the remote and I'll start fast forwarding. What are you fast forwarding for? I'm like, oh, it's going to a commercial. You can tell. It's like, commercial. Like, there's a certain pattern, cadence to their commentary. Yes. They're like, oh, all right. Can they come back? Oh, commercial. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a good point. I didn't think about that out loud, but yeah.
Yeah.
Then tonight, just a side topic, bonus-ish, if you will, we had Nick Aldis in his office, right?
Yes.
With Charlotte Flair. You had Nick Aldis and Charlotte Flair in the same room. Two huge names. Then we have Jade Cargill face-to-face, and then Triple H. Nick Aldis, Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Triple H in the same room? What a time to be a wrestling fan. Oh, man. A lot of people are making waves about this face-to-face. Could this be just teasing us? Could it be leading something? Because this is the dream match everyone wants to see.
I definitely tease, right? Because I can tell by the way when people ask when will she be in WWE, and they say when she's ready. So I think she still needs polishing at the Performance Center, but the presence and everything, the presentation is there. I think they want to. I don't know. They might want to just rocket her up to the main roster. She might not even go through NXT. I think that they're hedging their bets on her picking up the way they want their talent to
style.
Yeah, that style. So I think they're going to see how she progresses in that sense to decide if she shoots straight up to the main roster or does the brief stint in NXT. Because we have seen a few people do brief stints there and then they shot right up. So
yeah, LA Knight.
That's what I think. But there's a bunch like that. There's everybody wants to see too Jade versus Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I personally, I would love. I want another face-off between Jade and Brandy Rhodes.
Oh, okay.
I love their promo. They were so out of left field. They were amazing.
That AW promo was pretty fire, yeah.
Yes, and the one thing I am going to miss is, we're not going to get, Jade Cargill coming out and going, cut the shit, Cole.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
We're not going to get maybe on a premium live we'll get that, but I would love to see her in ring go, cut this shit, Cole.
Yeah, Triple H said that she's not ready. I mean, we're paraphrasing here. That she still has some work to put in, which is good. I don't rush her.
Yeah, exactly.
But are they? Because she's on every show, every brand now. I mean, a brief cameo. Is it best to keep her off TV, or is it sooner rather than later that she's progressing that well? Because I feel like if she's not progressing that well, why have her appear in every show? I mean, the hype is there, but hype can only last so long without a trigger pull, without a punchline.
I think it is good to keep her because again, like right now her name is out there and she's got a buzz. So I think again, like they study whatever is going on at the PC. So I think they could tell if she's going that route and like progressing to the point where she could go right up, they'll do it. If not, okay, well you go in NXT, so where it's not as important to be as sharp and she could work with a few and get those wins there, and then by that time she gets some TV experience on their independent, for lack of a better term, their independent television before they bring. So either way, she's never lost any TV time.
Good point. Keep the character alive.
Yes.
And good point out for the NXT commentary when she showed up on NXT. Who would ever thought we'd see this? Like, yeah. Great job.
Definitely. Yeah. What Tuesday was a good night for wrestling.
It was weird, though. I don't know if I'm just alone here. I'm so used to her being that badass bitch. That bitch show. That we see her. She's all happy and smiley and giggly. I'm like, who is this? I'm not used to this. I'm used to the stone cold badass bitch. Let me give this woman back. But like I said, I'm so excited about her future here. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely. They're not gonna neuter her. We'll definitely see that. It's just the time. Now she's in the big league, so she's smoozing with the bosses. But once she gets out there, she will be the badass. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, Governor. We could talk all night, and most of the time we do.
Yes.
And we still have a shot of BCW record after this.
Yes.
So, any go-home thoughts for you, my friend?
Again, great, as we mentioned, great week for professional wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. I was a fan of it. I enjoyed the Tuesday Night Wars. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
The head of the table is back. The same night the head of the bar is back on Shot of Wrestling. So, good correlation there. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Mark could stay at the Errors movie tour. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get tickets, so he had to go to see the movie. But
he tried.
Oh, I know he tried, but Hollywood Inc. did not get him in. Where
your daughter's one. She's not a Taylor Swift fan. Relax. What, you think your daughter, 1-year-old daughter, to see Taylor Swift?
No, he went by himself.
No, I'm saying that's what he told me. I'm like, dude, come on.
He's a lot, please. Oh yeah, the same way he took us to the pumpkin patch, where you barely see the kid, but that's.
A lot of photos for her back.
Pictures of him by. I was like, you know what? Let me see how cute his daughter is. Like, oh yeah, look at the smile on her face, and I see a picture of Mark by himself posing the pumpkin patch. Who does that? An egomaniac. That's who.
Well, if you zoom in, her head is available between the space between his arm and his side. Like she was peeking through. Like, worried about me.
Was that one, or was that the one where he posted for Daughter's Day, and it's mainly him? And she's looking on the side, like, yo, Dad, can I get in the picture too? And he's like, no, yeah, I need a good promo pic.
She's 1 year old, and that face said, "What the fuck?"
She already knows what she's dealing with. But she's gonna have to fight for every bit of attention she gets.
Yeah. But yeah, like we said earlier in the beginning of the show, a lot of shit going on in the world. Just love one another. I love you,
except Mark.
Fuck Mark.
Mark, but yeah, I love you too, buddy.
There's a lot of hate and evil going on in the world. Not only like I said, we talk about the wrestling world. Just stop, relax. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Give us a hug.
Exactly. So we could be gone tomorrow. So
like that. You never know, man. Take every day as a gift.
Yes.
But it's been a pleasure having you, my friend. It's been a pleasure. You did a great job filling in for my co-host. His job is now in question.
I'm surprised he's had the job this long.
Yeah, that's a different story.
I
have things to say about that off air.
There might be an episode which is like shots at Mark Swan.
Okay.
Mark Cohen, yeah.
Bonus episode.
We just roast him.
Yeah.
We just roast him for a half hour. We could invite guests on to roast him. We could do the roast of Mark Cohen.
I like it. Book it. Marcus Davenport Cohen.
Yeah.
The third.
Yes. Davenport.
It's a cool name. I don't know why he fucking hides behind like.
He would be. He would be a smarmy Davenport too. So it's not so that far out of the realm of possibilities.
Now we're just rambling on, hating on Mark Swan. We do that for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we do this at the bar too for no reason. It just happens.
I know we're texting.
I mean, look at his face. He has that face. He has that punchable face. But anyway, yeah.
Gentlemen, if you're listening to this show, episode 339 of A Shot of Wrestling, if you're listening to it when it comes out, stay tuned for the next couple days for part 2 of A Shot of BCW, where the Governor and I will go over the second half of the card of Nightmare at the Mecca, October 22nd, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Doors open at 1, bell is at 2. Tickets are still available, I think a limited number.
Yes.
Bree Combination Wrestling, BRII_combination_wrestling on Instagram, BCW_wrestling_ on Twitter, BRI, whatever it's called. BRII Combination Wrestling on Facebook. Yeah, I went today on Facebook, Twitter to see what was trending. I'm like, I typed in Twitter, like, oh man, I gotta fucking. It's still Twitter.com.
It's X. It's X. So I'll go, Elon, if you're listening, I'll take a blue check mark for free. Thank you.
But it's still Twitter.com. Like, I typed in Twitter.com, it brought me to Twitter.com.
Right.
So it's not officially X yet. The app is X, but the website is still Twitter. I have no fucking clue what's going on. Governor, where can people find you on social medias?
You can find me on Instagram at AJPanPC. You can find me on the X at AJPan_PCA. I'm on TikTok now. I'm trying to build that. I don't know what I'm doing on there. So if you want to see some fun, silly content, AJPanPC as well. And yeah, come out to the shows. Come out to Nightmare at the Mecca. It's going to be a great one. So come out for that and listen to the Shot of BCW. Going to have some fun with my man Putty. I guess Cheyenne's going to be there too. And if Mark is done partying with his pink boa at the Eriscon movie, we might see him there.
With his daughter, air quotes.
She's not there. The poor kid's in bed. And he left his wife to babysit while he's being an overgrown Swiftie.
His wife's probably the one who's sick, by the way.
She's sick of him.
That's why the COVID test came around.
I think she's just sick of him in general. She's a saint, that woman.
Well, enough rambling on, Governor. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
As you
Always
know,
a pleasure.
The song you're about to hear is a parody of Frasier. Again, news to my co-host. He thought I wrote that myself. No, that was the Frasier theme song. I just wrote different lyrics to it. It still baffles my mind. You're a Frasier fan. You know Frasier, right?
Okay, here's the one thing we're going to... I'm not a Frasier fan. I've tried getting into it. That show I can't get into.
For AJ Pan, I have been your host at Michael J. Putty. Until next time, Putty out.
Hey baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh my. And maybe you seem a bit confused, yeah baby, but I got you pinned. Ha 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.